be constantly disrespected and then to deal with the career-defining injury will put a man in the deepest depths of hell. When you're in hell, you gotta spend every waking minute fighting, clawing your way forward and hopefully find a way out. And if you're motivated enough, you might just make it. And my God, if that isn't Jayson Tatum. But his battle isn't as simple as just recovering. You see, the Boston Celtics, who were thought to be destined for failure, find themselves nearly at the top. Jaylen Brown on a nightly basis is shocking the world, proving to everyone that he's an MVP caliber player. So what does it mean for Jaylen when Tatum comes back? Is he just gonna step aside? As you can already tell, the return of Jayson Tatum has many implications. What does it mean for himself? Can he truly achieve that level of greatness that he sets out for himself? And what does it mean for the Celtics? Will they have to completely dismantle a system that's been working so well for them? And what about for the NBA? Should everyone else in the East be afraid of losing their one chance of making it out? Let's find out. Tatum has been disrespected his entire career, and to cap it all off, even after he wins a championship, he gets benched during the Olympics, with the entire world there to watch him, just sitting. And on his revenge tour, when he's playing the best basketball of his career and during his prime, he tears his Achilles. My man has a burning passion to play again. He was in the middle of his hero's journey when it abruptly paused. He's dying of anticipation to complete that narrative that all those who disrespected him were in fact wrong. So it's not just about getting ring number 2. He wants to prove to himself that he can be just as great as he was going to be. This return means everything to him. If anything, showing himself that he can play at that level he was at is probably the most important thing to him right now. The Celtics being this good is also adding fuel to JT's inner monologue. It shows how they can be successful without him. And while he's truly a great teammate that'll support his brothers no matter what, you can't help but think he feels a little doubt. With this mindset, he's more set than ever to return this season. Oh no, he's not gonna let his team go on a championship run without him. He can't. He knows his legacy is tainted after that. The haters will never shut up. The return of Jayson Tatum would obviously make the Celtics better, but there's a lot more that goes into that than him simply stepping on the court again. You see, Tatum is quite the valuable asset, and they don't want to risk anything happening to their beloved star. Tatum may just see the court again after the All-Star break, and that comes with some concerns. Post-All-Star break is when players are at their fastest, most conditioned, fully comfortable in the systems they play for. This ain't no preseason, but this is preseason for JT. On top of that, Tatum will be a primary rebounder, with the Celtics struggling in this category, and it being something he normally excels at. But that's just extra load on his Achilles, and then when he gets a rebound, he tends to run the offense. That'll be him running coast to coast on several possessions. Not ideal for an Achilles recovery. Of course, the Celtics are a professional organization, and if they give him the green light, that means Tatum is ready. But then there's the question of how he fits into the system. The Celtics had to completely reorient how they ran their offense without JT. They have much more motion and ball movement, allowing them to find open shots, whereas Tatum relies heavily on iso ball. So would they integrate him into the new system that's been working so well, or would they let him play the way he's most successful? It would probably be a mix of both, and I'm quite intrigued to see what exactly Mazzulla cooks up here. Then there's the constant changing of lineups. He'd return on a minutes restriction, so the lineups will be constantly changing as time moves forward. Now, would this mess up the flow for the team? Probably not as much as people think. Tatum is the type of player to instill confidence in his teammates and draw gravity towards him. His minutes on the court would make his teammates better, including Jaylen Brown. Now, Jaylen has grown to be a very mature leader. He has his personal goals of wanting to be recognized just like everybody else, but what makes him so great is that he's willing to work in his role. Nothing matters to him more than winning. Mazzulla is also smart enough to take advantage of this situation. This does not mean less reps for the MVP candidate. This just means less pressure. If anything, this will allow Jaylen Brown to shine even more.
We trust his decision making. Obviously, we would love to have him back. Winning is the most important thing for me. So being able to add some winning and potentially have another deep playoff run is what I'm aiming for. So, JT is a big part of that.
The East has been looking a little funky this season. With the broken Pacers and Celtics, this was supposed to be a battle between the Knicks and the Cavs, two powerhouses with a hungry core. And yet, both teams look kind of mid. The Knicks are streaky, and the Cavs are repurposing. Even the Magic, who were looking promising last season, seem to have zero growth. On the other hand, the forgotten Sixers seem to really have something going this season. With the talented young core and an almost healthy-looking Embiid, they might be a dark horse this playoffs. Same with the Raptors. I mean, look at this battle for the 2 seed. It's neck and neck. The only team that met the high expectations and ran with it is the Pistons. A massive leap from Duren and Cade allowed this team to have a heavy lead in the East. Then there's the classic Hawks. Even with Trey being shipped off to the Wizards, they still have one of the best offenses in the league, and yet they're exactly where you'd think they'd be, in the play-in. With the best team in the East still being relatively young, this is really anybody's battle. Anybody can take the East. I'm not seeing any team really that's a guarantee to come out. That is, unless JT comes back in full health. Then it's GG's. No disrespect to these squads, but what the Celtics are doing this season is absolutely magical. Now put a top 5 player on top of that, the Celtics are going to the finals. I'm excited to see Jayson Tatum return, whenever it be, and hopefully he'll look just as good as he was before his injury. If you want a little reminder of just how beautiful his game was, check out this video, where I did a breakdown of how he became such an elite player. Watch it and let me know if you think he can reach these levels again. Thanks for watching. Hooligan.